The National Guard has done such an incredible job working with the police, and we haven't had to bring in the regular military, which we're willing to do. We have to. And after we do this, we'll go to another location and we'll make it safe also. We're going to make our country very safe. We're going to make our cities very, very safe. Chicago's a mess. You have an incompetent mayor, grossly incompetent. And we'll straighten that one out probably next. That'll be our next one after this. And it won't even be tough. And the people in Chicago, Mr. Vice President, are screaming for us to come. They're wearing red hats, just like this one, but they're wearing red hats. African-American ladies, beautiful ladies, are saying, please, President Trump, come to Chicago. Please. I did great with the black vote, as you know, and they want something to happen. So I think Chicago will be our next, and then we'll help with New York.
And this right here is some of the video of the National Guard's involvement in Washington, D.C. The Pentagon confirming those troops will now be armed with guns as they patrol the streets of the nation's capital. Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth calling it, quote, common sense. And we do have this post right here that I want to pop up as he said that on social media hours ago, along with an article that said Secretary of Defense Hegseth authorizes National Guard troops to carry arms in D.C. Now, nearly 2,000 National Guard members are currently stationed in D.C. as President Trump continues that crackdown on crime. Trump warning that, quote, bad things will happen if D.C. officials do not, quote, immediately stop giving false and highly inaccurate crime figures. There will be a, quote, complete and total federal takeover of the city. Want to pop this up on your screen right here as we do have more developments. The Pentagon confirming to Fox News that up to 1,700 National Guard troops will mobilize in 19 states in the coming weeks to help with the president's crime and immigration plans. Here is a look at those 19 states on your screen. And as you can see, they are scattered all over the map. All of this expected to run through mid-November, with Texas projected to have the most significant National Guard presence. As you can tell, there is so much to discuss here, so I do want to bring in an expert to help break it down. We do have Jeff Weninger, a retired police lieutenant and the founder and CEO of Law Enforcement Consultants. Thank you so much for taking the time to be here with us today and help to break it all down.
Thank you for having me.
Of course. And first off, I do want to ask you overall, how unusual is it to see this level of military and law enforcement presence in a city like D.C. and what we could see happening in Chicago and New York City as well?
Well, it's not unprecedented. We've seen it in the past, but it's generally because of a specific event or civil unrest or some type of a natural disaster. I saw it back in Los Angeles in 1992 when we had the Rodney King riots. We saw it with Katrina in 2005. And, we saw it most recently in Los Angeles here this spring when we had the civil unrest. So it's not unprecedented. I guess really the question is, seeing the deployment of military personnel for the purpose of policing everyday crime trends, that's unprecedented.
Do you think we are going to see, as we see the National Guard deployed to places like Chicago and New York City, do you think we're going to see kind of a similar situation to what we've seen there in D.C.? Will it look pretty much the same?
Well, I think to the extent where when you flood an area with resources to address the crime, automatically the deterrent factor is going to reduce the crime. The key is, what is